Good morning, everyone. Dwayne Pinnell with Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Belton, Missouri. And today I have the distinct pleasure of showing you a 2026 Newmar London Aire. The floor plan on this coach is a 4551. It has 605 horsepower. It's a Cummins engine. And it also has an Allison transmission, 6-speed. It has air leveling and hydraulic leveling on this coach, one of the Highline series for Newmar. And the coach has a Freightliner chassis. So there are two chassis available on the London Aire, the Spartan chassis or the Freightliner, and this happens to sit on that Freightliner chassis. So I wanted to take the time to show you today a full walk around of this vehicle from outside in. And so we're going to start right here on the front. Again, this is a 26 London Aire 4551. The stock number, by the way, before I forget, is 17N253483 on this unit. Again, 17N253483. So, right, we'll see this huge windshield. First of all, great way to see the country through this view from the inside. You have day and nighttime shades throughout this coach, and this has the beautiful silhouette shades. So while you're driving and the engine's on, it will have a limit switch as far as how far that shade will go down, of course, because it does not want to obstruct your driving view while you're in the coach. We have the great front cap here on the front. You've got cameras all the way around this vehicle, 360 view, so you are going to be able to see everywhere around the coach. While you're going down the road, you can do that, and also while you're stopped to see and check the perimeter of your coach all the way around. Very elegant coach in that we have the windshield wipers that are hidden behind what I'm going to call a bullnose here. So many coaches just have those windshield wiper blades hanging out there. Even some of the Highline coaches do. I think Newmar does a great job on this in that they do hide those so that they're just not hanging up here on the windshield. Makes it a much more beautiful view. And the London Aire has LED lights in the front, great illumination for the nighttime driving. It does have fog lights in the front as well. And this has the adaptive cruise control, the collision mitigation system on it also. And then these great chrome mirrors on either side. The upper part of the mirrors are going to be powered from the inside, just like you might have on your automobile. The lower mirrors, however, are going to be manual. So you can come around here, help the driver set up what the driving view should be as far as these mirrors. Now, I like to drive with these mirrors pointed down just a little bit so I can see right along beside me what is coming up on the coach. This does have the diamond shield protection all over the front of the vehicle, and you can see the diamond shield emblem there. So all of this is going to protect from any kind of rocks coming up off the ground. And while I'm at it in safety, we'll see that this does have the radar system here. So it also, besides just your visual view, you're going to have alerts here with the system so you can tell what's coming up alongside you. We have marker lights here. So if you're turning left or right, you'll have the marker light here showing, illuminating for the drivers around you. And then moving on around, we have the great, beautiful door here. Now it's on a piano hinge, so it's going to have the hinge all the way from the top to the bottom. It makes it a much more tight seal when that door is closed, so you're less likely to have any kind of wind noise on that. We have the hydraulic steps, so make it very easy. Now, I have not lowered the airbags on this coach, so the step does sit a little higher than it would if you're ready to camp, and unless, of course, you've got the manual jacks, the ones that hit the ground, deployed. We have air leveling and hydraulic leveling on this coach, and it's from the control panel left of the driver's seat on the inside, right by the window, underneath the window on the side driver's window. But these are hydraulic steps that come out. They do have a sensor, so if you happen to get in the way with your shin or something, it's going to touch your shin and then it will stop. So if it also would hit a curb and you're too close to the curb, it also will stop there, so you're not going to damage your steps either. We have the keyless entry on the coach. This does have a lighted handle here, so it will illuminate at nighttime. You have your lights on, the exterior lights on. You can establish a code that is specific to you and private only to you, so that you can access the door even without the key. And then we have a doorbell. I don't know if that's picking up on the video, but have a doorbell. And then simply to lock the coach when everything's shut down and you're walking away from the coach, you can hold down on the one here. You see the locking insignia there. You can hold that down. It's going to lock not only the entry door here, but all of your compartment doors all the way around. Now, we have the nice 22.5-inch tires on this coach with the chrome wheels. This does have LED lighting underneath here, so it's going to illuminate the sides of the coach, this side of the coach, whenever you're approaching it, so that you have visibility and you can see. And we have the Girard Nova package all the way around this coach. So you have the LED lights underneath them, all the way on these two large awnings that deploy from the rooftop. And those are on a wind sensor, so if there's too much wind, it is going to draw that in so as to protect the awning from damage. I would say that if you're going to walk away from a coach at any time and you have these deployed, before you leave the coach, by all means, please pull those in, even though it does have those wind sensors. A gust of wind can come up immediately and make those a kite, unfortunately, and these are very, very expensive to replace, so we wouldn't want you to deal with that kind of damage. Screen door, so you have nice fresh air. You can turn on the fantastic fans inside and then open a couple of windows, draw in some of that fresh air on a nice day like today that we have here in Kansas City. And then moving on around, this is also part of the Nova awnings. So we have the awning on these windows, so even if the large awnings are not deployed, we have the ability to open these to create shade from the inside for this window, which is going to be the living room here. And then, of course, you have your outside television, your entertainment center. And this does have a TV that will come out and turn so as to remove some of the glare that you might notice otherwise. And then we have a Bose soundbar. The awnings also have your remote control, so you can control those while you're out here. Now this will not control the awnings over the windows, but it will control the large awnings, and you can pull those in, you can lock them down, you can turn the lights on for them, you can turn the lights off on them. It depends on the channel that you've selected on this remote as to what you are controlling at any given time. So we can control the front awning independent of the rear awning here, control the light the same, independent of each other, draw them all in at the same time or deploy them all at the same time and turn them all at the same time. It just depends on the channel that is selected on this remote control. Also, you have a Samsung TV with a remote. So it's going to control the TV reception here. This does have Starlink already installed on board. So this is over a $5,000 option that's been added to this coach. And it also has your Bose remote for the Bose sound system here. You can hook that up to Bluetooth. These are smart TVs also, so if you wanted to stream, you can stream YouTube TV, whatever it is, as far as how you want to access your programming. You could put a Fire Stick on here. You could put a Roku, anything like that. And of course, we have this nice door that does have a locking mechanism that will lock down everything in your entertainment center and make it very less likely that somebody would walk off with this electronic equipment, which is very costly also. As we look in the first bay here, we do have the refrigerator freezer. It's the Dometic. This will pull out, of course, and you have the shelf above. Maybe you have water that you like to take, additional water that you like to put in that area, so you've got an easy way to keep that. And these have two compartments. Now you can set all of this up for freezing contents. You can set it up for just refrigerated contents, or you can do half and half on this particular unit. Makes it very nice to supplement what you have on the residential refrigerator on the inside of the coach also. And this just goes back, snaps into place. As you see, we do have it unplugged right now. And these doors also are very nice. Easy close now. They used to be a little harder with Newmar to close. You have a fuel fill just here above a docking light. What is a docking light? So docking light helps to illuminate this side of the coach. Maybe if you're backing into a space, it just gives you illumination for the driver so he can better see, or she can better see what's going on there. And you have the fuel fill here. One of the things I'll point out that Newmar does also, because they're all about safety, is just here behind the wheel, on both the driver and passenger side, they actually weld in a plate here with the fuel tank line here. They do weld in a plate here so that if any road debris would come up, it's less likely to pierce that fuel line, so it's going to protect from fire that might start as a result, again, from something you might hit on the roadway that's going to come up to pierce that line, which another safety feature, of course. Moving on back to the second bay here, this is actually a powered storage tray that will go from side to side. This is a full, complete pass-through bay, and then the control for that is just here. We can extend it from this side. It can be extended from the other side as well. Same type of switch on the other side. And then just send it back. The thing about this is we have the raised rail here because this is a diesel pusher. So you do have full pass-through here. You've got to adjust sometimes for the height of the things that you put in here. And then we have a really nice shelf also out here. Other contents you want to put, maybe things that you want to supplement in the inside you don't want to keep in your closet space, but you can get those into this area, have access to them very easily. Makes it just very nice to have all that additional space. And then on this pass-through, and it does pass through all the way, you see it's a little wider. We have a wider shelf up here because it's a wider bay. We do have the manual tray, so it's just a pull of this little handle. It will bring it toward you, and then just simply manually push it back toward the center of the coach, and it locks into place nice. While we're here by one of the windows, now this is a kitchen window, so you do have dual pane windows all the way around the coach, so it's going to give you extra ability to keep it cool when it's summertime, ability to keep it warm in the wintertime with those dual pane windows. And then you see we have exterior lighting up here, so again, additional illumination. Here is one of the cameras for your 360-degree view that I mentioned earlier. And then this does have the central vac system on the inside. So we have the road vac here. This is the clean out. You do have a port where you could actually plug in the hose. If you want to clean these bays out here, you're able to do that by simply plugging in the holes here. This is also the clean out for that system as well. And then another manual storage tray. Now this one doesn't do the full pass-through on the tray. It's limited to about 50% or so as far as the space that you have. Newmar includes, of course, the hoses that I just referred to for your vacuum system. And then we have an airline here that will hook into the coach in the front. We'll get to that a little later, where you can actually access some air from the front of the coach. And then additional floor tiles. Heaven forbid you drop an iron skillet or something on the floor inside. You might make a crack or a chip. You want to replace that. You can remove the grout, of course, do it yourself or have someone replace one of the tiles there if necessary and make it all nice and new again. Maybe you have something electrical that you want to plug in. Additional electrical space here. So you have electrical outlets here. They are GFCI also here, so you can protect the coach as well or reset that particular area. And then moving on back to this bay, you can see we have a lot of the brains of the system. We have a lot of the electronic components here that are plugged in. You've got fuses that plug in here, and then connections made to many of the things, of the features of the coach, the lighting, And then there is a panel for a technician, service technician or something. You can see the hinges here. So this panel will open and you can access what's behind the panel just there, which will probably start some of the tanks on the coach. And then again, more of the awning controls for the remotes, etc. in this bay. And these doors are nice and insulated. Newmar does a great job with their insulation. And I'll point out while I'm here also, because I didn't mention it before, we do have the nice stainless steel all the way around the coach, so it really dresses it up very nicely. And for a coach of this magnitude, which is very high-end luxury, it's just going to dress the coach up very nicely. Now, in the London Aire, it also has, you have access to an Onyx package, which would give you the blackout wheels that have become so popular in recent years. So it'll have the blackout package all the way around on the wheels, etc. Instead of the chrome, you'll see the dark black wheels there instead. And carrying on with those large tires back here, and you've got the tag axle, of course. So eight tire treads that are hitting the ground on this coach all the way around. You've got 4 just across here at the drivetrain. You've got the 2 in the front, of course, and then 2 on the rear. This is the exit door that can open, emergency egress door. So if there would be a mid-coach fire, you can open it from the inside and access then a telescoping ladder that deploys from the bottom of the door here that will come down to the ground. Makes it easy to get out so you don't have to just jump. I tell customers of mine also who buy these Highline coaches that this is a great way that for somebody to stay inside, and if you're trying to load up the coach or maybe unload the coach, you can do it through this door for everything that's in the back. Clothing that you want to put in the wardrobe or in the back, items that you keep in the bathroom. You can pass through back and forth instead of walking all the way from the front of the coach to the rear. And then the DEF tank, because this is a diesel fuel coach, you have the DEF tank here, which is a 15-gallon tank. And it can be filled here, but it also can be filled from the other side or the driver's side of the coach. This is going to be your chassis disconnect for your batteries, and these are your chassis batteries here that you can turn them on or off. If you're in storage or something not plugged in, you would turn that off so that you're not going to run down the battery by it just sitting there, because there would be a little bit of loss of your battery power in doing so and leaving that open there. And then you have a panel here also that also is accessible if you want to get back behind that. Moving on back, and again, here's the radar continued. There's one mid-coach as well, just down there. And this coach will have a 20,000 pound tow capacity because this is the Freightliner. It is on the Freightliner SL chassis, which is their large chassis for the motorhomes that are built. As you know, we have the rear diesel here, and this does have the side radiator, but look at this beautiful cap. So you've got the air that will come down from the top rail up here, help to be more aerodynamic with the coach. And then you have the camera just here also, and multiple views on the camera. You can get close up so that you could see your tow vehicle if you're towing something a little farther back, and then in the distance you can see what's behind you as well. This does already have your electrical, a 7-way pin so that you can hook that up. And this coach has the CURT Spectrum brake controller on it also. So if you're pulling a stacker trailer, you can plug that in and connect the coach to the trailer, etc. You can see what's kind of going on with that trailer as well. And then great lighting in the back. You've got marker lights at the top. You've got braking light right here horizontally up there above the little camera. And then on either side, you have lighting. So very easily seen when you're turning left or right or braking on this coach. You've got visibility from a lot of different areas here. Marker lights down below also. Again, makes it very nice to see everything illuminated. The exhaust here. And then that side radiator just here also. Moving forward, again, this is the tag axle. This is a steerable tag axle. And then here is that def port, so you can fill the tank from this side of the coach also, or directly into the tank on the other side. A lot of people carry additional def little tanks that they can fill up the tank with those instead of going to the pump. And then just here we have a place to store a waste hose. If you have, and well known in the industry, the stinky slinky that you want to get out of the water bay, it can be put here and placed here so that it is out of the way in the water bay area. Again, the awning, part of the Girard full awning package on the coach. And then this is the exhaust for the Oasis system. So this coach has the Chinook hydronic Oasis system on it. So your heat is going to be supplied from that Oasis system, your continuous hot water also from the Oasis system for the coach. So on-demand hot water all the time. And then we have a filter here for your water that comes in. We've got the towel holder, we've got the shower, exterior shower. Maybe you have dirty feet, you're at the sand, you want to wash those off before you carry anything inside. And then on this coach is also equipped the macerator system. So a powered system where you can expel all of the contents from your black tank and grinds it up, and you can put it down into the septic system. You have still a couple of valves also if you wanted to hook up your waste hose, that stinky slinky I referred to. From there also you've got the black, the gray, and then you've got all the valves for easy winterizing of the coach if you're so inclined to do that. And the Sanacon switch for your macerator system is just here. And then you do have the digital display here so that you can look at things on the exterior of the coach as far as security lighting, etc. But you can go back to the digital display to get to the coach and see what the tank levels are, etc. You have the black tank rinse just here, and then the gray tank rinse here as well. Everything nice and tidy, all etched into this stainless steel panel, and gives you very clearly what these are. This has a retractable water hose, so simply pull it out manually and then retract it with power back to the coach. And then this does have the slipper hinge. So if you'll notice the position of this door and where the slide is, because this slide has, it's a full wall slide. It does have tile floor inside, so that floor is going to come out. It suspends while it's inside in the coach whenever the slides are in, but then it comes out and seats into place hydraulically. And because you want to have the full benefit of the height of these basements, this slipper hinge assists in doing that to get that door out of the way. And it goes up toward the coach as it's going in. You see it drop, goes up, and then close that door. And then in this bay we have your electrical hose, which is a 50 amp. It's going to be 50 foot in length, a whole coach surge protector. And this coach does have additionally on it, which is an upgrade, you have the 30 amp plug right here. I mentioned a stacker trailer earlier. If you wanted to plug that stacker trailer into this receptacle so it can draw power from the coach, you can do that just here as well. If you wanted to hook up to cable TV at a RV resort or campground, you can do that just there. And then this is very nice so that you can pull the hose out manually and put it there. The door will still close, but when you're ready to retract that hose, you can simply do so by drawing it back into the coach with the power button that's just here on the door. Makes it very nice, very convenient, and very easy to deal with. This coach also has LED lighting on this side of the coach, so again, while the slides are deployed and you have this lighting on, it will illuminate this side as well of the coach. So we've got it on the driver's side, the passenger side. And then I mentioned the Oasis Chinook system, so that hydronic heating system is just here. So no forced air furnace on this coach. It does not have propane. This is an all-electric vehicle. So you're going to get your heat from a couple of burners that are in this unit. It's going to heat that water. It's going to emit the moist heat into the coach from when you're inside, just so you can be nice and warm and comfortable in the winter months. And then again, it's going to give you that consistent and continuous hot water throughout the coach. This is just simply the opposite side from the bay that is full pass-through, again with the manual tray, the wider one. Same manual handle, lift that, pull it toward you. It'll very easily slide. It's on very easy rollers. Anybody can do it. Unless you get a lot of weight on that, it's going to be a little harder to pull then, but makes it very convenient for loading, unloading the coach, or getting to your contents. And then the powered one here, again, the opposite side. As I told you, it can deploy from either side of the coach. Deploying it from this side with the same ease that we did it from the opposite side. Just back until it gets in place. It'll stop on its own, let go of the button, and close the door. This coach has 8 batteries, so this does not have the lithium battery package on it, but very easy to get to those. It's also on a sliding tray. It has a couple of pins that you loose there so that you can pull them out to you. You can see the batteries, test the batteries, replace the batteries, whatever you'd like to do there. And then here in the front side of the coach, on the driver's side of the coach, we have the ability to deploy, and I have to have the engine running, but you can deploy the front cap to expose the generator here. And it's a 12,500 kW generator on here. It's an Onan Cummins generator. And again, there is an air line that is accessible when this panel is out, when this front end is out. And also, this has hot water hooked up directly to the generator. So if you have bugs on the windshield, you see that this has got a little wand here so that you can extend it. It's telescoping and you can get those bugs and everything, but you also have the ability to hook up a hose from the front there and then wash off the windshield and then squeegee it off with this particular handheld device here. And then we have still a lot of fuses. Newmar gives additional fuses just here. And then you've got fuses here as well, obviously, on the coach. All the wiring harnesses that are nice and tidy behind these little conduits, so it keeps them in space. They're not hanging, easy to pull away or anything of that nature. And this is the exhaust for that generator that I just mentioned. So I think we've covered pretty much everything from the outside. Awnings again. Let's go to the inside and let me show you this lovely coach from the inside. One thing as I notice here, this does have a flagpole bracket. That's what this little plate is here. The bracket slides into that plate and then you can extend your flag from the coach there also. And come on inside. Easy grab handle here, as well as on the driver's side, on the outside, and then just inside too. So maybe you have a little bit of trouble with mobility as far as getting in and out. First of all, those steps are great because you've got the additional third step there, makes it lower to the ground, easier to get into the coach, but also the grab rails on either side to help bring you in. And Newmar added just a couple of years ago a switch just here inside the coach. So if the coach is totally dark and you have your battery disconnects, everything's turned on, your house batteries are turned on, you can simply push this button. It will illuminate ceiling lights so you're not walking into a completely dark coach. And then this great floor system. This does have a step cover that deploys just here that will cover the steps whenever the doors are closed and you're in transit mode, you're driving down the highway. The person in the passenger seat, whomever that might be, does not let their feet just hang over this stairwell, but you have a place nice and great support that you can rest those feet on while going down the road. Now, I'll point to you because it's right here as we go in. Italian genuine leather in the London Aire this year. Beautiful leather. Beautiful decor in this coach, and you'll see in just a moment. As we're just stepping inside, get rid of some of that wind noise. We do have the additional panel here, so that your co-pilot, whoever the co-pilot is, can look at cameras here. They can set navigation here. So we have to accept this. It's not taking my foot. There we go. And then move around the cameras, around the coach. We can do that. And I just turned on the radio, obviously, and turning that on, but you can dim this, you can bring it back to life, brighten it, whatever makes it easiest based on sun and just natural lighting to see the screen. But very convenient because another set of eyes can look and see what's going on around the coach from here, and you can view all of those cameras going around the coach. As we look at the dash, got this great black dash, TV overhead here, and a lot of people mention, why do we have a TV over here over the cockpit? Nobody's going to watch the TV going down the road. And right, very true. However, if you have guests sitting in this love seat here, and you've got programming running, you've got a lot of people in the coach, this makes it a very nice feature so that everyone can still view programming together as a family or a group of friends, etc., from right here also. The armrests here have a ratcheting feature with a little tab. I'm reaching into the end of this. With that tab, you can set it to adjust it at different heights that are comfortable on both sides for the driver, passenger, while either driving down the road or maybe reclining in this seat while going down the road. And with these seats, both driver, passenger, they are not only heated seats, but they're ventilated seats as well. So you can make it nice and comfortable for you. Maybe it's really, really hot going down the road. And with certainly the 3 air conditioners that are on the roof here, the 15,000 BTU on the roof, you can keep the coach nice and cool with the generator running while you're going down the road. And then you can ventilate these seats, give you a little bit of air coming through those, help to take off the heat that might build up in these leather seats. Or you can also turn the heat onto these seats, and it's electric heat so that you can heat those up just like you might in your automobile. On the passenger side again, it does have a wireless phone charger, very convenient for the passenger. There is a USB port here if you're wanting to plug something in. It can be done also, and again the wireless charging. But the London Aire, we have the venting windows, so opening like that, you can vent in the fresh air from the exterior. And close that down nicely. Some of the controls here, we do have a map light. The step cover that I'm standing in front, or in the step well here, so it could deploy from where I'm standing. And then we have the visor on this side, so you can bring it down. Maybe the sun's shining brightly into this side. You can filter that sun by putting that down. And then you have the patio lights here. The both seats will turn all the way around to the rear, and they do have footrests both sides so that you can recline while you may have guests here. Just make it comfortable. Look back in this direction instead of forward through this large windshield. And again, bring out the view. Look at this panoramic view. From the inside, a little easier to see. You might see that we have on the, let me just see if I can wake up here. With the key, and this is a push button start. There we go. You might hear the noise. So because I've started the engine, I had the entry step locked out, and it's going to draw that in because the engine is started. And if I put this into a drive mode, it would also lock that entry door as well. Just one of the safety features of the coach. But look at these great displays here in the center of the dash for the driver, angled toward the driver, so it makes it very convenient for the person driving to see. We mentioned those cameras. We have the menu here in the dash. You can go from your radio programming. You have the media center here. And this has some pre-selected music that's on this great sound system in the coach. And you could select from that and play something, and I'm not going to play it because it might blast us out, because it is a very good system, sound system. But we'll go back to the menu here, and then you can get Sirius XM radio if you want to pay the subscription to do that. Have hundreds and hundreds of channels. Going back to menu again, we have Bluetooth, so you can set up your phone, easily talk through the coach with your phone and just speaking, because it'll have a speaker here that will pick up your voice. You can have it dial automatically. This does have the ability to hook into Apple CarPlay with the unit. Going back to the menu again, you have an HDMI outlet there, and then you have an auxiliary outlet as well. Your navigation, and then you can set up the system also. But the camera system is just here. So I mentioned it has 360-degree camera views, and we can look at all different directions. That is looking out from the driver's side, passenger side, and then from the passenger side also down the right of the coach, from the rear toward from the front toward the rear. We have a view out in front of us, as you can see our lot here, and then the view behind. I mentioned while we were out at the camera that you can see far back in the distance, and that would be that view. A little closer to the coach, and then right up on that hitch, so that you can see your tow vehicle, the front of the tow vehicle there, and make sure everything is good there. You have a trailer camera view also, and then the trailer camera on either side as well. And then we have this satellite view from the top of the coach, and as we can see just here. So again, a great feature of the coach and all the things that you want to do. Now in the display here, we can do many things. We've got the visor, we've got the shades, the visor in the front and the left and right, and then your entry door lock. If you want to lock that manually, you can do it. Your generator start is from right here also. It can be controlled in the digital panel in the middle of the coach as well, but you can start it right from here if you'd like to. Going down the road, it starts getting a little hot. You can turn that generator on so you can kick on those air conditioners and make it nice and comfy in here. But in addition to that, you have the dash air that can be controlled right here. And then those docking lights I mentioned, they can be turned on from here. You have high, medium, and low on the fans. Simply turn them on here, but you can select then the fan speed with that button. And you probably heard the change in the pitch of the fan because of the speed that is created with those different settings. And those really are intended to defrost this windshield, because If you've got a cold morning, you can get a lot of frost on this windshield to help clear it up. You can do that with your fan in the front here. And then we have your tag dump. You can disable that. You can put it on auto or manual. And then your house battery boost. Let's say that your battery's a little sluggish. From either side, you can jump it from one side, from the chassis batteries to the house side to help get things started there, or from the chassis side to the house side to help get things started as well. Again, push button start I mentioned, and then look at this display. The menu in this display with a smart wheel. We can go through, we can select a lot of different things here. We've got the mobilize system, and again, the collision mitigation system in the vehicle. This does have the comfort drive on it with the steerable tag assist, steering assist. You can set the tension on the steering wheel so it's very light and free moving for low speed driving. You can also increase the tension on the wheel so that it's a much heavier wheel and less likely that wind would push you, or high profile vehicles would come next along you to push you as well. And then oil temperatures, you have your airbag inflation here that you can see. We have your distance to empty, the voltage on your batteries. Just very intuitive dash here, things to get to very easily. That CURT Spectrum brake controller that I mentioned is just here on the coach. And again, you can change the setting on that however you want to adjust it. So it's set for you. Fog lights I mentioned from the outside. We have dome lights that we can set here. And then your lighting for the coach. Emergency brake or the parking brake here. And then just left of the steering wheel at the dash, we have a wireless phone charging station here. Now, this does have a telescoping and tilting steering wheel. The pedal is toward the floorboard here on the left, where you can get it out of the way, makes it easy to access in and out, but you can also telescope it in and out so that you have a good view between your eyesight and this display and the roadway. And again, this just lovely view outside the coach while you're going down the road, a great way to see the country. To the left, you have your window controls, so power window. And this does have, by the way, I was going to mention that you could pay tolls from this window if you needed to, but the thing that this coach has is the toll module on it. So you can set up an account with that toll module, you can feed that account with funds, and then as you go through the continuous United States, you do not have to stop to pay tolls or anything. It'll actually deduct those funds from that account with that toll module that's been set up already. Your traction control just here. Maybe you need a little assistance in moving on some slick snow. You can get some of that here. You have your air horn setting here, just the regular horn in the dash, or that air horn for the coach, which is a lot of fun. And then the power controls for the upper parts of the mirrors on either side. And then the upper parts are also heated mirrors. Now, I have the blinker on because the engine is running, but you see how it illuminates that we're making a left turn here for the drivers to the left of us. They can see nicely, but also the marker lights are going to indicate that not only in the back, but on the side as well. And then to the right as well. The little triangle that's illuminated here, it's indicating that there's something in that view, that radar system that indicates there's something coming up on us on the side. Don't know what that's picking up right now, but that's the purpose of those. So again, you can see what might be there. And then we have, as I mentioned, the hydraulic system for leveling the coach. So you can have the jacks actually deploy so that they hit the ground, but on the London Aire and the Essex, the King Air, and the Mountain Aire, you also have air leveling. So that can control just here. In the digital display, you can You can change the ride height. Maybe you like something that sits a little higher when you're riding. Maybe you like it sitting a little lower when you're driving down the road. And it's sometimes a matter of preference. Sometimes it's based on the weight the coach might be carrying, etc., for the most comfortable ride in the vehicle. But again, the Freightliner SL chassis on the coach, phone controls on the right here, presets, flash your lights. If you have a car that's passing you moving in, you have some courtesy light flash here. And then on the left side, we can control the dash and what's going on here. You can control the volume and the radio, things of that nature also. So, cup holders, nice drawers, place for all the stuff. And then also USB and USB-C on this side as well for the driver. Maybe you have something that you want to plug in just here. It gives you the ability to do that along with some storage here on the side. So that's the dash kind of in a nutshell. And with that, we'll move on back to the living quarters of this coach. And I guess I should mention this first, because we have not only the remote control for the awnings, but you have an awning control here too, where we can select a channel. I mentioned those channels. You've got 0, 1, and 2, where you can deploy those awnings. You can control the lights on those awnings. You can bring them all in at the same time or bring them in independently based on the channel that you've selected. You can lock those down so that they can't be deployed. And then we've got the wine guard system here, as well as the I mentioned the Starlink that already is on board on the coach. A lot of the shades can be controlled here. Those awnings on the outside windows, independent of those that are deployed from the roof, are right here. You have your security lights, passenger lights, privacy shades, and drapes for the coach. And then the slides for this full wall slide on the driver's side, for the passenger slide. And then those exterior steps, as I said, I had them locked out. This is where you do it. And then you've got the exterior LED lights that you can turn on as well. Your Wi-Fi router, very nicely laid out. And then some of the power system on the coach. You can see what's going on there. And then there's an HWH master switch just up in the cabinet there that you can reset things. A couple of electrical outlets, maybe you have something electrical that you want to plug in there. We have the toll module that I've mentioned earlier, as well as the storage that we have in this area. So this coach has in the interior the Alden decor package throughout. On the exterior, which we've already seen, it has the Seaford graphics. And then this is the chestnut glazed maple hardwood suede finish cabinets on the interior. Isn't it beautiful? Just typical Newmar as far as the quality build, the padded ceilings in the coach. Makes it quieter in here, both for the ride, and you've got a quiet ride anyway with the chassis, the way everything is built here on the coach. I mentioned digital displays. Here's one of them. So if you wanted to turn lights on from here, you can do that. You can raise and lower the TV on the opposite side of the coach from right here. Powered seats, and again, this is genuine Italian leather. You can control the shades. And then cup holders here as well with USBs that you can plug in. We have lighted cup holders here. And again, you can deploy these to recline position. Those are so comfortable. These seats are. Makes it easy to take a nap. And then simply turn those off as well. Tons of storage. continued. You've got the deep area at the bottom, but also the sliding tray, easy access to remotes that you might want to keep in this area, or other items that you have, box of tissues, anything like that. And then look at all the cabinet space. LED lighting throughout the coach, both in the ceiling, everywhere in the vehicle. So less likelihood of having to replace those anytime soon. Beautiful residential wall sconces, both sides. And then this booth is just amazing as well. Storage in either side, a table that will extend out. It does have the leg here for when it's extended, so if somebody's leaning on it, there's not a likelihood of breaking the table because of that additional support underneath the table. A couple of leaves that will go here to extend this table for you. The clock Newmar puts in, again, above overhead storage on the driver's side, and then a Bose sound system. Above here, you can set up Bluetooth, you can stream music through here, you can watch great videos with great sound through this Bose system also. And then the cabinet storage above. Little cabinets on both sides under the columns, and a little side table here. This is a place for guests. If you wanted to bring guests along and they need a place to sleep, very easily converted into bed space. A strap just here, a pull of that strap, lift from the bottom, and it will extend, as you see. And then the back simply comes forward into place. If you had a mattress topper and you wanted to put that there, it makes it a very comfortable bed for a couple of people. And very easy to put away as well. So again, with the pull of that strap, it's going to bring it in from the center. It's going to go ahead and fold those table legs, or the chair legs, and then simply put those back into place. They've got Velcro on the back of the seats so that they're not likely to slide around. You get them in place just like that. And again, more cabinet space. A lot of people like to have these doors open so you can see the space that you might have. If you had a DVD player or something HDMI, it's got all the hookups already, the cables already set up. Additional satellite, you can set that up there. And then solid surface countertop, full extension drawers, very shallow drawer here, but again, easily accessible. And you see the dovetail drawer joints, so very nicely done. Heated floor tile throughout. So you have 3 zones. You have this front zone, the bedroom, and also the bathroom will also have heat in it. This does have the induction cooktop with the cutting boards on the back side of the covers. It does take a special pan. It has to make a magnetic connection, but you can simply lift those out. And I just heard the other day, and I haven't checked it out personally myself, but someone said, you know, instead of buying special pans, because I had a sale of a coach that had the induction cooktop, and they said, we don't have those pans. And one of our technicians here said that you can go on to one of the online presences and you can get a little pad that goes here that helps make a connection between the cooktop and the bottom of your pan, your existing pan, so that it becomes usable on this surface, even though it may not be already an induction type pan. But if you wanted to take this outside, you can certainly do that. I showed you the electrical outlets in the bays on the passenger side here, or on the driver's side there's some. If you want to set up a table, you wanted to cook something outside, so keep the fumes out, you can do that with this. And again, with those cutting boards, nice and tidy, just wash those off, put them back in place, keep your countertop nice and clean, tidy. And then we have this little storage space up here. Microwave convection oven, a Whirlpool. It does have the air frying button on here, so you can air fry in this. So one less item you have to keep on the countertop or pull in and out for the unit, because it's already got it built in there. Microwave convection oven. And you see the space inside, which is nice. Residential style microwave convection. Lots of very straightforward instructions on the unit. The drawer just here shows where you can put your cutlery, spoons, knives, etc. And I mentioned the flagpole bracket outside. This slides right into that bracket. And again, you can hang a flagpole from the outside of the coach if you wanted to display something that's important to you, maybe your favorite sports team, maybe just American flag, whatever it could be. You've got additional paints for the exterior. And then soft close drawers throughout, a dishwasher, which is an added feature on this coach, as well as I mentioned the Starlink on the coach. Storage space galore. Nice, easy gliding drawer. Residential style faucets with a great big basin here. And another one of those digital displays where you can control features of the coach. A scrubby door, so you can keep your little scrub items there, clean up your pans nicely. Place for your waste basket, as well as some things that you want to keep in the storage area, and then another gliding drawer here also. You see illuminating on the floor, you've got LED lighting, courtesy lights. So if the coach is otherwise dark, you can turn the courtesy lights on, have a little illumination so it's easy to move around. Locking refrigerator door, French doors. Whirlpool also. We have an exterior filter on the coach already. You have a filter inside, so you can filter the water for the ice that drops into the tray below in the freezer area. Just here. And again, this has the outdoor refrigerator freezer, so you can supplement contents for the freezer by outside if you have something that you want to keep out there. Maybe you tailgate. There are beverages, there's water, anything like that you want to keep out there so people aren't coming back in and out of the coach all the time. You can simply do that. And then your digital display for the main brains, I would say, or the main control panel for the coach. Climate control, your tank levels, your battery health, your lights in the ceiling. You can lock your cargo doors here. You have your lights, both interior, exterior, that you can turn on, your power, so you can see what's going on as far as inverters, etc. Your floor heat can be controlled, and I said that it has 3 different areas. This would be the controls for those. You can set them high, medium, and low. Your fantastic fans. This has 3, one in the kitchen, one in this bathroom, and one in the master bathroom. All your shades around the coach you can control here for the different areas of the coach. Just climate control, both for the Oasis system. Here's your burner. If you're not using the electric side of that Oasis system, you can turn on the burner using the diesel fuel from the main tank and use it as a catalyst to heat up your water so you have that continuous hot water, etc. And then going back to the home screen, everything is easily laid out as pretty much anything you're going to find out there. It is Bluetooth compatible, so you can set it up on your phone to control a lot of the features of the coach from right here, also from your phone. And then remaining in kind of the kitchen theme, we have your storage for your pantry items. And those are full extension as well, dovetailing again. A nice easy roller glide, full extension, and then you have a place to put pots and pans, maybe baking sheets. You can change them for the width necessary for what you're carrying along. You can take all those out and use it as additional storage if you don't care about the pans, taking those along. It does have the auto illumination. When you open those doors, it automatically illuminates the cabinet. And then your half bath here with your central vacuum floor port. So you can take a whisk broom, small broom, dust mop or something, take the contents very close to that, turn that on. It's going to take everything down to that central vac system on the outside that I showed earlier. Great illumination from the mirror. Nice counter space for items that you want to keep along here. This does have the electric toilet flush and is a ceramic toilet. And I'm just going to step inside there. Look at this door, how it's cantilevered, so makes it easy to get in. And then whenever you're inside, it creates more space because this disappears. Have the storage here for your medicine cabinet. And this faucet, the black faucets and everything are beautiful. Just the design of them, very residential style. More cabinetry here. Toilet paper holder, very convenient. You do have the port, just as on the unit itself outside, where you can plug the hose in to vacuum the floor also. And then here's where a lot of the electrical for the coach is. This is your main panel for your coach that you can get to. Breakers. And then a lot more of the fuses and just electrical components of the coach just here. Beautiful wallboard that goes along with that decor. And then stepping into the master bedroom, first of all, a privacy door. It's a heavy door that will go full extension across, so you have privacy between the two spaces. And then stepping back here, we have a king-size bed with storage underneath. Here is where the additional chairs for the dining room are, and those additional leaves that go into the table when it's extended here as well, and then otherwise just storage under the bed, things that maybe you don't get to all the time but need access to. It's a good place to put things like that. Side tables here, but you have also the electrical up there in the cabinet, so if somebody has a CPAP machine, they can plug it in, keep the unit up there, keep it off the side table, drop the mask down through these little holes. You have reading lights on either side, and then also a digital display, so you can turn those lights on and other components of the coach, and then makes it very convenient. Look at the ceiling. Now this mimics the ceiling also in the living room throughout the coach, where you've got your air conditioning, you've got your supply and your returns underneath these decorative panels here, so it's not very ugly, you know, with the plastic vents out here. And look at all of the drawer space in the coach as well as overhead. And again, opportunity for more components. Again, DVD player, electrical on the side, nice table here. Again, these are the silhouette blinds, so the daytime shades and nighttime shades are darkening. And then just the drawer space with the soft close drawers, all dovetailed again, and then larger drawers. Nice and deep. And a couple larger drawers here. Now you see the TV placement there, of course. And in this coach, really cool because it has a hidden feature. And that you grab this TV, it is on a hinge that will turn it around to expose cabinets here. Storage on this side, and not only cabinets, but a hidden safe. So for those valuable contents you want to take along, you want to lock up in the safe, you have the ability to do that just here. And it's nice that it's hidden away. It's not easy to find. A lot of people wouldn't even know to pull this TV out that would even be there. And then, again, heated floors back here as well. Stepping up into the bathroom, we have mirrors everywhere. So the mirrors, if you need to view how you look for going out in the evening, you have that ability. Step up into the bathroom. And then we do have the shower miser. So you can recycle the water from the freshwater tank when you're not plugged into city water or hooked into city water, and it'll recycle that water through the lines until it actually gets hot, before it gets continuously hot, and it will not waste any water going down the drain. And then you have a dispenser for shampoo, conditioner, lotion, and then the drop down seat here also for the ladies. They love it. Place to put the foot up, shav legs. And then we have the little trough type drain there, very elegant. Nice cathedral ceilings here. I'm 6'1", plenty of height. So even if you're several inches taller than I am, you've got plenty of headroom here in this bathroom. Grab handle there, need some help getting up off of the bench there. Hook for towels or for robes. The stacked washer, dryer, Splendide. So two pieces, the dryer on the top, the washer below, with a drawer below. So maybe you have dryer sheets, things like that you want to put there. You can certainly do so. And then this elegant bathroom with the lighted mirror. And you can dim all these lights throughout the coach so that they're not so bright. But maybe you need the light. This side is just a panel that gets to the rear of the washer dryer. If you need to get to the water disconnect right there, unplug the units, you can do that right there, obviously very conveniently. And these are beautiful little sinks with, again, cabinets, full extension, drawers, and then cabinets underneath with electrical on both sides. So hair dryers, curling irons, and then another medicine cabinet just here with electrical inside also. So you can keep those things off of the countertop here, and in here when you're storing them away, maybe the medicine that you need daily, another digital display panel. Engine access to the top of the engine where I'm standing here, so this panel comes up for a service technician, a mechanic, they can get to that. Porcelain stool with electric flush also, and this is that egress door that I mentioned earlier. So with a couple of turns of the latch and then the sliding of a slider there to unlock it, you can unlock it. Free flowing door goes open, and then the bottom panel, you see the tab. That tab can be pulled. It'll expose that telescoping ladder I referred to while I was outside. Certainly toilet paper holder there, and then nice illuminated hanging space with shoe caddies. Does have a locking mechanism here, and those are closed, so the doors aren't just going to slide back and forth. And then a lot of shelving on this side also, nice carpeted, so if you have something there, it's not going to slide around. So that's pretty much it on this 2026 Newmar London Aire 4551. Again, this is 17N253483. I'm Dwayne Pinnell, and I'm going to get my clipboard there and just give you a view of my phone number, of my email, so you can call me. If you have questions, call me directly. Don't go through a switchboard. If you want to know more about this coach or any of our inventory, frankly, I'm Dwayne. Call me. I'd love to hear from you. I hope you've enjoyed our tour around this 2026 London Aire today, 4551. It's a beautiful coach, and it's available for you. If you have a coach, maybe you're getting out of the industry and you want to sell your coach, we'd love the opportunity to purchase it from you. We're always looking for quality used inventory. not older than 10 years old, but we'd like to have a chance at buying that from you if that's something that you want to do. And just simply call me about that too, and I can be the starting point for that also. But call me 816-516-5312. That's area code 816-516-5312. My name's spelled DWAYNE.PINNELL at Transwest is that email address. Please call. Have a great day. Thank you.